Hello, everyone, and welcome to the spoiler thoughts on the fifth episode for Star Wars: The Acolyte. And, right out of the gate, I'm just gonna say it. I said it as a joke, but I'm gonna say it. I totally fucking called that the Sith Lord was gonna be Khmer. Totally called it. But then again, it's obvious as hell, so I shouldn't really be proud of that. But I called it as a joke. Which honestly just kind of speaks to, like, the writing of the show. Like, the show's billed as a mystery. And the two big mysterious elements of the show, I mean, yeah, we've got one more sort of mystery going on, but like the two big mystery elements that we've had in the show so far, like, they were easy to guess. Hell, they gave one away in the first episode, the twin thing, and like, we should not have been able to call Khmer being the Sith that easy. Again, I said it as a joke. But anyway, we've got a lot more to talk about, and so I'm just gonna get right into it. I was not expecting pretty much every fucking Jedi that was on this mission except Saul to die. I thought for certain that, like, Yord and Jackie were gonna make it out because, they're main characters. Nope, fucking Jackie takes like a Shoto blade to 3 spots on her body, and Yord gets his fucking neck snapped, dude. Brutal. Like, even watching it a second time, as soon as Khmer breaks Yord's neck, I'm just like, damn. Again, even watching it a second time. Was not expecting that. So, speaking of the Jedi, Saul and Khmer, this kind of thing, like, Saul mentions that, Khmer feels familiar to him, and Khmer actually says, "You don't remember me?" So that very much implies that they've crossed paths before. Are we supposed to assume that Khmer was somehow involved in the Brendok incident? The thing involving, the coven that May and Osha are from? Did they meet at some other point in the past? What's going on here? Hopefully, either episode 6 or 7 kind of gives us that answer. I don't know. I really don't know. I know the Jedi obviously did something on Brendok, but it'd be interesting to see what role Khmer had to play in this. Okay, I'm gonna save that for last. So speaking of Saul and Khmer, I'm gonna address this elephant in the room that probably a lot of people, myself included when I first watched it. Why didn't Osha let Saul kill Khmer? Like, he would have the blade right to his neck. Why didn't she let him? And I think it's largely just due to the fact that even though she's no longer a Jedi, deep down, Osha still has that Jedi teaching. And murder is not the Jedi way. Even though Khmer's, a Sith Lord. Like, they do not kill unarmed prisoners. And, even though it seems stupid in this episode, there is some slight precedent for it. In Revenge of the Sith, Anakin doesn't want to kill Count Dooku. Not at first. Like, he flat out says, once he's got Dooku literally unarmed, and the blade's at his neck, when Palpatine's encouraging him to kill him, he's like, I shouldn't. And then he later chastises himself, Dooku was an unarmed prisoner, I shouldn't have done that, it's not the Jedi way. So I think that's more or less why she's like, yo, no, don't do this, other than, we'd lose our bad guy for the rest of this series. And I need to make this quick because of, my 5-minute time limit. 5 more minutes, rather. I will say, one of my gripes that I've been having throughout this whole show, May's, inconsistencies, that she doesn't know what the hell she wants, what the hell she's doing. For the most part, her actions in this episode make sense. Why didn't she let Jackie arrest her when last episode she was going to turn herself over to the Jedi? Because she just watched Chimera kill all of them. Almost all of them. So she's like, well, the Jedi can't help me, bye! And why'd she attack Osha after trying to be all sisterly and huggy and shit like that? Because Osha still wanted to arrest her ass. So, that makes sense. And then the ending happened. Why did May swap herself with Osha and go with Saul? I don't know why. I'm not saying, necessarily it's her inconsistencies back at it. I just know the reason. It's she clearly wants nothing to do with the Jedi. I don't think she's gonna try and go back on her task of killing the Four, because Chimera just tried his damnedest to kill her. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing here. And so finally, let's see if I can get through this in 3 minutes. If not, I might make it a separate video that gets uploaded later this week. Chimera is a Sith Lord. That's right, he flat out says, when Saul asks him, what are you? He says, I have no name, but I am what you Jedi would call a Sith. What's that mean for continuity? Because, man oh man, does this show seem to just kind of not care when it comes to lore and continuity. Right now, we don't have an ending. We don't know how the show ends. For all we know, Sol, Osha, May, all of them could die. And we don't know for a fact that Chimera is the one and only Sith right now. He could be the Padawan to a Master, and be looking for a Padawan and Acolyte of his own to overthrow the Master, per the Rule of Two. Then again, who knows if the Rule of Two is even a thing in Disney's canon. This is a thought that crossed my mind, since the Sith are kind of a known thing in the Star Wars universe, he might just be a Dark Force user, someone who wants to use his abilities for whatever he wants, and knows that the Jedi would refer to him as a Sith for that reason. He might not actually be being taught by whoever the current Sith Master is, if he's not the Sith Master. Which, again, he might be. I don't know. We don't really know much about this guy. So, right now, even though, a couple of Jedi know that the Sith are back, and that does kind of break canon a little bit, we don't know for a fact that this information is going to get back to the Council. We don't know this information is going to go beyond the people who already know about it. So I say wait and see before, getting out the torches and pitchforks if you haven't already. We don't really know what's going on here yet. And I know I'm giving the show a little more credit than it deserves, or the benefit of the doubt, but maybe they will find a way to somehow still make Kiadi's comment in Phantom Menace still make sense. Or maybe he's just covering his own ass and not talking about it. Who knows? Anyway, maybe I'll see y'all here next week for episode 6. Like I said in my spoiler-free talk, I actually did enjoy this episode. And crap, I was going to talk about the cortosis thing. Go look up cortosis. It's a metal that allows, that, like, shorts out Jedi lightsabers. That's what was going on with that fight. Bye, may the Force be with you.